Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Russell and thank you for joining me here today. Let's talk about the pink princess, the Philodendron pink princess. Now this plant is from Colombia and we are going to be repotting this plant today. So this is an aroid and these leaves on my philodendron are very small. A couple of months ago I bought her and she came in this lovely little plastic pot. I haven't moved her from here. I just felt that it was winter, it was Christmas, and I just felt that she needed time to acclimatise to my flat. She's done that. It's now spring, or just about to be spring, and so I think it's time that we put her in a bigger pot. Now these leaves are, she's an immature plant obviously, but these leaves should grow to about 9 inches long to 6 inches wide, and as you can see they are very small. This being that her roots are probably not able to grow in such a small pot. Now I got her in this plastic cup. It's got a few holes in the bottom. I haven't seen any roots coming out of the holes, but I've had her a few months. It's time to pot her into a bigger pot. She's doing well, but she has lost a leaf because I tried to pry the leaf out because it was stuck and it snapped off. So she's probably not very happy with me at the moment. It is time to pot her up. So this plant does like indirect sunlight in the home, but you know, a few hours a day just in sun is not going to harm her. It will help bring out the pink variegation. If your philodendron is going greener, then you do need to put more light on it. Sometimes these do revert, so you can actually cut them back to where the last pink leaf was. Now, if you have too much pink, and you might be, jumping for joy that you've got a whole leaf that is pink, you've got to watch out because the pink leaves are not producing any glucose or oxygen, okay? They've got no chlorophyll there, and chlorophyll produces oxygen and sugars for the plant to live. So the more variegation you have in the plant, the less energy that plant will have. The other way around, if you have a full green leaf, you're losing your variegation, okay? And you cut it back as well. So if you have too much pink in the leaf, you need to cut it back. Enjoy the leaf, by all means, take loads of pictures of it, but if too many of your leaves are pink, then your plant will succumb to dying, okay? It's just not got enough energy to sustain itself. Now these like to live in between 60 and 80 Fahrenheit, between 16 and 29 Celsius. You know, if they're above 18, they're much more happier, okay? You do tend to miss the leaves every few days. I do have high humidity and the plants love it. I have a dehumidifier that lessens the humidity in my flat because it's actually too high. Not for the plants, but for me and for the walls and for everything else. So I bring it down to about 60, which is fine. You can have it up to 50, but don't go below 50, okay? So the reason these plants are expensive is mostly because they don't grow well from seed, and the variegation is actually a mutation. So when you plant the seed, the plant will grow and maybe they only have 4 or 5 that are pink and the rest will just be green. And so obviously people don't want the green, they want the pink. So they too tend to be from cuttings, and cuttings, obviously you don't get as many, okay? So yeah, so let's pot this baby up, shall we? So I've got my soil, new pots, scissors if we need to cut any dead roots off. I always have one of these, a little shovel, very small, but I don't usually use it. This is my Monstera and Philodendron soil, and I will put the ingredients on the screen now, okay? So let's do this plant. So this is the plant here. So I'm going to get a new pot. I don't usually use plastic with philodendrons and monsteras, but it's a new plant. It's quite small, as you can see. There's a lot of room to grow in there. As it grows, I will put it in a clay pot because it lets the roots breathe. So plastic pots I do not tend to use, but I tend to use them only when a plant is very small like this and I want to see the root formation to see how the plant is adjusting to its new environment. And as you can see, it's the next step up, so that's fine. Okay, so I'm just gonna squeeze out very gently. In might have to cut this off because it doesn't want to come out. Oh, here we are. So I'm going to take off some of this dead soil. And it hasn't got many roots, not as many as I thought it would. So I don't think it likes it in there very much. And you just need to take off very gently. Now this will stress the plant, so you need to be very wary after. Keep an eye on it, keep an eye on the plant, maybe just put it in the growing area, maybe bag over it just to keep it warm. Maybe put it on the warm mat for a while. Okay, so now I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to get my soil, and I'm just going to very gently try and move him in the centre if you can. I mean, when he starts going into a bigger clay pot, you probably won't have it quite centralised because you'll probably use a pole with him. Or her, whichever you decide to call your plant. Now, I haven't got a name for this one. I think I might call him the Pink Panther. That's a bit big. So then you need to press him down so he's firm inside. And don't worry. I mean, you can overpress, obviously, but you do need to have firm soil, and that's what you're going to have, okay? Now, what I'll do off camera, I shall water him, and I shall put maybe a pint, 2 pints of water. I will let him drain for about 10 minutes, so there's no more excess water. I won't let him stand in water because I don't like that. And then I shall put him in the sun. It's quite sunny today, so that's where he'll live for a while. I'll keep an eye on him. And as I say, I tend to water them once a week, once every 10 days, sometimes even once every 2 weeks. They do like to have moist soil, but not wet. Now, a really good tip, if you're like me, you overwater, is having a water meter like this one. And I use this on all my philodendrons and my monsteras because I do like to overwater. And actually recently, my monsteras have been drinking, twice a week I've had to water them because the water is just disappearing from the pot. They're drinking a lot. So I think with the new sun that I'm getting and the spring, they're really kicking in the gear, and they're going to start producing new leaves. I mean, this one here, I don't know if you can see, this one's got a new leaf coming. And that's the second one in about 3 weeks. So yeah, this is a really good tip to use. And you can get these really, really cheaply on the internet. This was about £10. It really saves. And they do have a light meter on here as well, and pH. I don't use them at all, just the moisture, just a water meter. Okay, so there you have it. This is the Philodendron Pink Princess, all potted up now. I shall water her when I come off air, and just keep her a little misted, maybe misted every other couple of days. If you don't have a humidifier, I tend to have a lot of moisture in my air, so I won't be needing to do that so much as you probably. Indirect light, as I've said before, I will give it some sunshine because, as you see, it's going quite green. There is a pink leaf here, but maybe now it's settled in. If it does stay green, I will cut it back, and obviously I'll bring that to you. And because I bought it, because I want the pink. So there you have it, surrounded by my jungle. The Pink Princess is now repotted, and well, I've got another 10 other jobs to do, but that's one down. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Please like and subscribe, comment down below. All comments are read and all comments will be commented on. So thank you so much. Bye bye.